Have you ever noticed how someone can pretend they've moved on, but their eyes still hesitate when they hear your name? They'll act like they're fine, posting happy pictures, laughing with new people. But deep down, something in their behavior still whispers your name in silence. Psychology says, when someone truly moves on, they stop reacting to your presence. But if they still react, even in denial, their mind is holding on longer than their words admit. Because the truth is, the human brain doesn't understand goodbyes easily. When we emotionally attach to someone, we build neurological pathways. And those pathways don't disappear when love ends. They just go quiet for a while. So even when they try to act indifferent, certain behaviors reveal the truth hidden beneath the surface. In this video, we'll uncover 10 powerful psychological signs that show someone hasn't really moved on from you, even if they desperately try to make it look like they have. These aren't random guesses. They're backed by real human psychology. Let's begin. Sign 1. Their emotional reactions are still about you. When someone has truly moved on, their emotional state becomes neutral toward you. But when they haven't, even the smallest thing connected to you, your name, a song you loved, or a mutual friend's mention, evokes a strong emotional response. They might act angry, cold, or overly defensive. Psychologically, this happens because emotional detachment hasn't completed. The amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, still associates you with unresolved feelings. People often think hate is the opposite of love. But in psychology, the real opposite of love is indifference. If they still react, even negatively, it means your presence still triggers emotional energy inside them. In short, when someone truly doesn't care, their emotions don't fluctuate because of you. If they still react, they're still connected. Sign 2. They mirror your behavior without realizing it. Mirroring is an unconscious psychological behavior where we copy someone's tone, words, or gestures, usually toward people we feel emotionally attached to. Even after a breakup, if they're still mirroring you, using your phrases, mimicking your social media style, or behaving like you once did, it's a deep indicator their subconscious mind is still tuned to you. In psychology, this is called behavioral synchronization. When emotional bonds are strong, the brain continues to synchronize patterns as if the relationship never ended. They might post similar quotes, wear the same perfume you liked, or suddenly start watching the same shows you loved. Not by conscious choice, but because of emotional conditioning. Their brain hasn't updated its emotional routine yet, meaning you still live rent-free in their mind. Sign 3. They try too hard to appear happy or over you. Psychologically, overcompensation is a defense mechanism. When someone wants to convince others or themselves that they've moved on, they over-display happiness. They might constantly post smiling photos, show off new relationships, or repeatedly mention how amazing their life is now. But the need to prove something already suggests the opposite. According to psychologist Leon Festinger's cognitive dissonance theory, when our feelings don't match our actions, we subconsciously exaggerate to create balance. So if they post "I'm so happy now" too often, it's usually their mind trying to convince their heart. People who truly move on don't need to announce it. Their silence speaks louder. Sign 4. They keep subtly checking on you. This is one of the clearest indicators of emotional attachment. Even if they don't contact you directly, they find indirect ways to know what's happening in your life. They might stalk your social media quietly, ask mutual friends about you, or appear in places you often visit. In psychology, this is known as monitoring behavior. It's driven by an anxious, preoccupied attachment pattern, when someone struggles with uncertainty and tries to regain a sense of emotional control. Their curiosity isn't just about interest, it's a coping mechanism. They want reassurance that you still exist in their emotional world, that you haven't replaced them completely. Even when they deny it, their actions, small likes, accidental story views, sudden messages after long silence, reveal what words try to hide. Sign 5. They compare everyone to you. Psychologically, emotional imprints from deep relationships don't fade easily. The brain forms a template based on a significant partner. their habits, voice, and energy. After the breakup, every new person they meet is unconsciously compared to that template. If they still say things like, "You remind me of someone," or "No one makes me feel that way," it's a clear sign their emotional system is still running on your frequency. In attachment theory, this is called emotional imprinting. It's when one person leaves such a strong neurological mark that the brain takes time, sometimes years, to fully replace or release that bond. They may be dating someone new, but their emotional comparison meter is still calibrated to you. Sign 6. They hold on to objects or memories related to you. Our brains store emotional memories not just mentally, but physically. This is why people who can't move on often hold on to gifts, messages, or photographs, even if they don't look at them daily. It's called symbolic attachment. According to psychologists, when emotional closure hasn't occurred, physical items act as emotional anchors. They may not reach out, but they still keep your hoodie, your letters, your favorite playlists, because their subconscious associates those items with comfort, safety, and belonging. The inability to discard those objects isn't about sentimentality. It's about an unfinished emotional story. So if they're still holding on to things connected to you, it's a psychological sign they're still holding on emotionally. Sign 7. They exhibit mixed signals and confusion. Psychological confusion after emotional loss is common. People who can't move on often behave inconsistently. One day distant, the next day nostalgic. They may text you suddenly, then vanish again, or talk casually as if nothing happened, only to act cold soon after. This hot and cold pattern reflects what psychologists call approach avoidance conflict. It means they want emotional closeness, but fear vulnerability or rejection. Their logical mind says it's over, but their emotional brain whispers, "I still miss you." The conflict creates inconsistent behavior, which isn't manipulation, but unresolved emotional turbulence. When you notice unpredictability in their behavior, it's often because they're still emotionally invested, but can't process their feelings clearly. Sign 8. They still try to impress you or get your attention. Even after separation, if they're still trying to prove something, looking better, achieving more, subtly showing success, psychology calls it impression management. This behavior isn't about arrogance. It's an unconscious desire for validation from the person they still care about. According to Freud's theory of unresolved attachment, people seek to restore emotional power after loss by demonstrating worth. So if they're suddenly improving themselves, showing personal growth, or flaunting progress where you might notice, they're still emotionally reacting to your perception. The truth is, when someone truly moves on, they stop performing for your attention. When they can't, it means your approval still matters deeply to them. Sign 9. They avoid new deep connections. One of the most revealing psychological signs is emotional blockage toward new relationships. Even if they date someone new, the depth of emotional intimacy rarely matches what they once had with you. In psychology, this is known as emotional displacement, where the person tries to fill a void without truly resolving it. They may appear to move on, but emotionally they're comparing, detaching quickly, or staying surface level. Sometimes they even sabotage new connections because deep down, the emotional door to their heart is still half open for you. Their mind may have accepted the breakup, but their emotional system hasn't fully reattached to someone new. And the reason is simple. The brain resists fully investing again until the previous attachment cycle is emotionally completed. Sign 10. They still talk about you, even casually. The final sign is subtle but powerful. People who haven't moved on often bring up your name in random conversations. Not always positively, but frequently. They might mention your habits, your opinions, or past moments with you, sometimes with sarcasm, sometimes with nostalgia. Psychologically, this indicates rumination, the repetitive focus on emotionally charged memories. According to research from the University of California, people who ruminate about their ex are more likely to experience ongoing emotional attachment and delayed closure. When they talk about you often, it's because their brain still seeks cognitive closure. Their story with you feels unfinished. Even casual mentions are the mind's way of keeping your emotional identity alive within their narrative. Psychology teaches us that emotional detachment is not about distance. It's about resolution. People move on not when they stop thinking about you, but when thinking about you no longer stirs emotion. If someone still reacts to you, checks on you, compares others to you, or holds on to your memory, it's because the emotional bond hasn't been neutralized yet. But here's a truth worth remembering. Love leaves imprints, and not every connection fades because it ended. Some simply transform into lessons, growth, and silent gratitude. So if you're wondering whether they've moved on, don't look at what they say, look at what their behavior reveals. Because human emotions are not erased, they evolve. And if they still can't move on, maybe it's not weakness. Maybe it's because something real once existed. Something that still echoes quietly in their heart, even when they pretend it doesn't.